So it's extremely disciplined, highly disciplined to evolve in it, and you have to have a greater understanding of yourself and just nutrition and everything, because we have to know how to eat and when to eat, and really reading our bodies, understanding if we're eating too much or not. So the true statement is your body communicates with you every day, and it tells you everything. You just have to be in tune and listen. So we're not good at listening to our bodies. We're good at making our bodies do what we want it to do. But eventually it's going to win. So as you start to get sick and you continue to prevail, eventually your body's going to win. It's going to put you in a bed. I won. Now you're going to listen to me. So in bodybuilding, or even at a higher level of fitness, we have to listen. We have to understand that, when to back off, how much more food to eat, how much water to intake, which is very dangerous when we start playing around water. But we have to have that understanding, and we're the lightning rod to it, because there was no technology back when we were doing it. We had to put on our own little white coat and go in and play doctor and everything like that. So I think our sport probably gets the worst backlash. Is 9 times out of 10 we're only being seen or interviewed at a show. We're like 2% body fat or 3% body fat, and we're dehydrated. So, and we're at the peak of our exhaustion. So like you said, we're out of it. And here you're shoving a microphone in our face. So, we don't really probably seem highly intelligent. And I think the last thing is, it's a sport that will reveal to you who you are. So being that it's so hard, it's easier for people to write it off. Just like the old lady who used to look really good, and looking at the young beautiful, I used to look like you. Just wait till you get my age. That's an scapegoat. You have no excuse. Just because you're that age doesn't mean you have to take care of yourself. So it's easy to sit there and point at someone else because I just highlighted your weakness. If behind closed doors you don't know that, you know that you don't look good, or maybe you're not happy with yourself, and you see this beautiful woman or this nicely dressed person or this well looking, physical fit specimen is walking by, he's just highlighted your weakness. So either it's going to take a very strong man to say, wow, you look great, son, or yeah, I used to look like anybody can do that. You're full of drugs. It's a write-off. It's an scapegoat. So what you really did is expose how weak you are as a person. And it's not a good or a bad thing. It's just human nature. Majority of people do it. It takes a very, confident man or woman to walk up to another like, wow, man, that's great. You inspire me. Because 9 times out of 10, like F off. Because it's easier, right? I moved to Oakland to stay with my dad, and he bought me, my nickname then was Skinny Kenny, because when I graduated, I was only 198 pounds when I graduated out of high school. I was just skinny. And
198 is skinny.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry, 98 pounds.
98 pounds.
Sorry, 98 pounds.
Gosh.
98 pounds I graduated. So,
what do you weigh now?
Wow, now I don't even weigh myself, probably around 220, down from 299.
299 was before competition.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, obviously. So I went to play football, right? As we talked about before, my dad was a great football player. Got a scholarship to Fresno State, football and basketball. So he's a coach. I play football. My dad's a coach. And I was so small and skinny that the insurance for the school wouldn't cover me because I was that great of a risk. So he goes, embarrassingly, they put him to have to do, he goes, son, so just go in the weight room while we're out in the field, and we'll go home when we're done. And I just kind of enjoyed it, and I kind of responded. And he ended up buying me back then it was a 110-pound weight set. It was a plastic with the cement in it.
Yeah, I remember those.
And it was my dream to be able to bench press 110 pounds, and I just couldn't. I just couldn't. Everybody else could, but that was the beginning of it, And I jokingly say, I've got to be careful with that, but I jokingly say, little boys play with dumbbells and little girls play with Barbies. Normally. Well, you want to be respectful for everybody in their decisions, so that's just my point. But so that's how it started, and it just snowballed into, I played other sports, and I continued, in martial arts, and I played other sports, but I just didn't excel, the same. And even, fast forwarding back to Thai, winning all these tournaments, you know, we would still work out with weights afterwards, and I was still competing, and I won Mr. California, you know, in bodybuilding, and on a Saturday, and then on Sunday I went and fought in the California Championship, and I won that. And I was just torn. I was like, man, which do I do? And he's like, you do the one which chose you. I go, which is that? How do I know? And he goes, bodybuilding chose you. I go, how? How do you know? And he goes, because you have more avenues to be able to become something in bodybuilding than you do in martial arts. And you got to remember, back then, this is a 89 or so. Back then, if you're a great martial artist in a movie, you'd go out and do all these flamboyant kicks to establish yourself as a martial artist. Then a star just knocks you out with one punch, and you're out. So it was very disrespectful for us back then. You didn't get no money because you're out of the scene. So, but in bodybuilding, there was an avenue to make money. So he's like, you know, bodybuilders chose you. And I'm like, how could you say that to me?